So without any further ado, we do have another speaker. And I don't want to delay too much. I want to introduce, and it's actually my pleasure to introduce our friend and advocate, Doug Ford, to speak this morning to us. The Premier has been an MP for the Etobicoke North since about, I believe, 2018 as well. And he has been working hard before that even. He had been a city councillor where he was the vice chair of the budget committee, and he had saved millions of dollars for taxpayers' dollar at that time. So that I have to say he is very conscious about spending and making sure that it actually happens the right way. So I would also like to thank Premier Ford the support that he has shown to the grain farmers and the work that he has committed on our behalf. We are also thrilled to have him as our speaker, but also that he has promised to continue to be our advocate, and he will continue working together for a benefit to our farmers in Ontario. But by saying all that, we do want to make sure that Premier Ford, you continue, first of all, advocating that the need of the agri-stability file is very important, and I think there's an opportunity to bring that back up at the Premier's meeting. And second of all, I do want to thank you as the Premier, your government, for the $50 million, which actually shows leadership on your behalf from all levels, from yourself, from Minister Ardeman, plus the ministry. But in the same token, we also need your recommitment on not to redesign the RMP program before we come to basically a place where we feel comfortable of doing it. And so without any further ado, I do want to hand it over to Premier Ford and want to welcome him to our virtual Grain Farmers Ontario meeting.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Marcus. And I got to tell you, you've been an absolute champion out there, and we're very, very grateful. And we have another champion, as I say, the Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, and that's Ernie. Ernie's the biggest advocate out there, and always supporting you folks around the cabinet table and within the community. But most of all, I want to support our farmers out there, which have never wavered from day one. I think the world of you. I say it privately, but I say it publicly. And very few politicians will go out there and speak their mind, but I will, and I'll voice my opinion about the federal government needs to step up. And I've mentioned this personally to the Prime Minister numerous times, the Deputy Prime Minister numerous times, and when we have a meeting this Friday, I'll mention it again over in Ottawa when I'm there. But I want to thank the farmers for stepping up throughout this pandemic. If it wasn't for you folks, you know, there wouldn't be the food on the table. And I know everyone in Ontario appreciates the hard work that you've done, and we'll always stand shoulder to shoulder. I'll always have your back. And when I got during the campaign, I remember we promised we'd increase the $50 million to the risk management. And I gotta tell you, I didn't need any convincing. we promised it and we did it. I just heard that we might have needed to be convinced, which kind of took me back a little bit, to be very frank with you. But I'll always be supporting you folks. We also put the $15 million to enhance the health and safety measures of farms and food processing. So if you ever need any support on the PPEs or anything along those lines, by all means, just give our office a call and we'll be there with additional items. But one, I just keep pounding the pavement with the federal government, and I'm going to bring the our other great premiers on side, is the ag stability. You know, we have $40 million sitting here waiting to move, and I feel like I'm on hold because, and I understand our strategy, and I say ours, all of ours together, is to make the feds hold them accountable, to step up to the plate. And what I would do, and I'm this is just me, personal opinion, I'd be targeting the MPs, especially the federal MPs that that you have a big presence in. And I think there's 15 ridings or so, but I would be hammering them all day long and all night, because at the caucus, meetings that they have, the federal government, they'll stand up and hopefully they're going to voice their opinion. But I will always support you, and anything you need, we'll be there. But again, Marcus, I want to thank you and the farmers for everything that you're doing. And if there's anything more that you can think of on a strategic side, by all means, tell me, and I'll do whatever it takes to get the proper funding. So I just want to again thank each and every one of you. We'll be there, and if there's any questions or any ideas, Marcus, that you might have now, I'm all ears.
Really appreciate it that you have those words for us, but I do understand it is kind of difficult to get to the higher level of the federal government at this time because of the pro-government and all that. But we need you to keep pushing on on a certain ministry, and there's one individual that has that in hand, and that's Mr. Freeland. So because she's been, I think, working with you on that file already for quite a while, and we need your assistance on that significantly. But I do not want to diminish the need that provincially we do have to make sure that we don't step forward too quick, especially on the RMP redesign discussion, because it is important that we wait until everything is in place, and then we can look at next steps. So I do.
That's fine, Marcus. No, I'll take your lead on that, my friend. You know what it is? I feel like a racehorse being caught in the gates here, ready to open up. I just want to get this thing going. And as for reaching out to the highest levels, I talk directly to the PM and the deputy PM, and I'll pound your message all day long to make sure that they step up to the plate. And it's kind of frustrating. I just can't understand. They're which I guess we all appreciate the money they're doling out, but let's dole out some money to the people that actually put food on the table. They're working their backs off for salt of the earth. Those are the people we need to be supporting. We need to support everyone, obviously, but let's start making sure that the federal government steps up to the plate with our agriculture industry, farmers in particular, grain farmers in particular. They're the ones that are struggling now, and we need them. So you just give me the green light. We'll hold off until you give me the green light, and then we'll go full steam ahead. But that doesn't stop me. And I say hold off, I mean just to move forward on the funding part of it. But it's not going to stop me from mentioning it this Friday and every other time that I speak to him. And we'll get Francois Legault on side, and I know Scott Moe and Jason Kenney and a few of them. We'll be coming out swinging.
That's good. Thank you, Premier, for that confidence that you bring forward here, and I believe you probably also have a very busy day ahead again in your schedule, and I appreciate you being on our virtual meeting by even through phone call. That's very much appreciated, of hearing those words from you directly, because it's we're in those dire times where we need the reassurance from the government that we can get the basically the backstops resolved, and it's appreciated that you're doing your part on that too.
Yeah, and if there's ever a time, I always suggest things. I never tell anyone, but if they call an election, I'd be going full tilt on it. If there's ever a time to get some action, it's now. But I'll be mentioning it again when I see the federal government on Friday. and we'll be all over this. But Marcus, you have my direct line. You call me anytime. I'll be there for you. Morning,
All right,
noon.
thank you very much, Premier.
Okay, and I just got to tell all our friends out there, the farmers, stay strong. Again, we have your backs, and anything you need, we'll be there. I'll be there to support.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. God bless you. Take care.
You too. Bye.